shame. So, welcome to the UKBC interview. And tonight we are joined by Helen, one of our longer members, I think. I think you've been with us since the start, haven't you?
Couple of years, I think
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's all we've
yeah.
been going now.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's
no.
it'll be 2 years in sort of September, August time.
Yeah, it
Um,
would have been then. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, great. So, I mean, we've got a bit of a format going for these now, so we'll have a little bit of a chat and then we'll share some photographs and you can talk us through them. So, yeah, so where are you from and how did you get into birds?
From Bradford and Avon. I got into birds. My elderly neighbour, she had family got her one to keep her some company. She kept falling over trying to feed it, ended up in hospital. So my husband walked in the door. Oh, we got the bird for the weekend. So I was like, oh God, what am I going to do with the bird? I haven't had a bird for years, sort of thing. So anyway, she came out of hospital a few days later. Didn't want the bird back. She'd never liked the bird. Didn't want it.
Oh, crumbs.
So yeah. So I was like, oh no. So I went to the pet shop and got a baby bird to go with it for company. Of course, it hated it because it was about two and a female and always been on its own. So separated those. Had to go and get another baby to go with the new baby. There was three in the shop, so I couldn't leave one on its own, and it sort of all just carried on. Every time I went and got a seed, I come home with another one.
Oh, crumbs. And
So it went from there.
did you have birds of any sort before that one came along?
Well, I was about eight, I think, when we had a budgie, sort of as children growing up, but
Yeah.
not since then.
No, just a sort of family pet.
Yeah, and a lot's changed. It used to have just seed and a bit of iceberg lettuce once a week back in those days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then I think sometimes they were a little bit hardier back then because they weren't sort of. I think a lot of pet birds that we see these days are bred from show stock and they carry that much more feather and so yeah, I think they were probably a lot hardier back then. And
Yeah.
probably not quite so closely bred either. So, you know. So yeah, okay. So let's have a look at your. Oh, D. I've got that wrong. Oh, right. This is where the editing comes into it, you see. Right, so let's just set that up. That's what I should have done. Share screen. You're probably not going to like me for the first photograph.
Oh, no. Oh,
But it is, I mean, I guess you spend quite a bit of time in there with the babies and
yeah, I try to. I go in the morning before work and they all sort of get checked and fed and water and all their supplements and everything goes in. So I've usually only got about sort of half an hour in the morning before I go. And luckily I have a few gaps through work or I finish at dinner time so that I'm sort of
oh,
out there
that's
afternoon,
yeah,
yeah, an
that's
evening.
good.
So most of my time I'm at home, I'm out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I tend to do a quick, what I call head and bum count in the
Yeah.
mornings, make sure there's seed and water, put the open bowls in of water, and then off to work, and everything else gets done at night. So, but so is this the bird room now extended?
Yeah. So
That's
originally we'd only built the Avery, so I wasn't planning on breeding at all. Didn't cross my mind. So after we found a stray egg, managed to work out where it came from, and they were in my bedroom then, because we didn't have none of this. And of course, I got the bug for breeding then, and my husband said, "There's no way we're ever having them in the bedroom ever again
no,
whilst they were having eggs." So this was sort of a add-on afterwards.
yeah. And was there a shed there already that you'd
No,
extended,
no,
or
no, we had a tree there,
ah,
so the
right,
tree went. Yeah, so it's just extended through from the Avery.
yeah. Now, the one thing I have noticed on your windows, and I might not be able to see it, but you've got no wire over the windows,
No,
right?
I don't open them when the birds are out flying in there, which does get hot in the summer sometimes,
Yeah,
but they'll shut when the birds come out.
because my all my windows, and a lot of people will have like wire mesh panels over the
Yeah.
top of them, so they can all be opened. What I did, I just removed all the handles so I could still close them. Um,
Ah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
because we didn't realise when we brought the big window at the front that it opens inwards as well, which is a
yeah,
pain.
I just
But
noticed that as well.
yeah,
But
but
it's
then that
again,
might work better for the mesh being on the outside then if the window opens in because you're not
yeah,
pushing it
yeah,
out.
yeah, that's right, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can open that from the inside then. Um, yeah, it's just another way of getting the fresh air in there, really. Like you
yeah,
say, and when they're flying about, they probably get the hottest. So
yeah, because
yeah,
they're only out when I'm in there, so they're
yeah,
all away when we're not in there. But
and that's the
yeah,
outside Avery, isn't it? Is that what you started with?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And did you put nest boxes up there to do colony breeding or
No, I don't like the idea of
no?
that in case I've heard too much fighting and I wouldn't know whose was whose and sort of yeah, I think I've kept
Yeah.
her in the boxes.
Yeah, yeah, no, I did I did 2 years of colony breeding. First year, I didn't breed anything and I had eggs smashed. The second year, I bred one grey baby that never fledged in the end. It died. It came out of the box.
Yeah.
It never survived. And I just noticed as well, the conversation the other day, I think there was a post put up by somebody about toys in aviaries and things. So, um,
Yeah,
and obviously you like having the toys out there. Do you get on all right with the rope ones, or do you change them
yeah.
regularly?
No, I usually keep those where they are. I haven't really moved the branches around very much now. I tend to keep them because I wanted
Yeah,
them to have quite a lot of actual flying room rather than just to sit and
yeah,
play. So I sort of keep it to one side and then they can fly.
yeah.
Got the other side to fly.
You got to make it easy for yourself to clean out as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
made that mistake in one of my bigger aviaries. Put all the perches across and then realised I had to duck, and I'm 6'3", so it was brushing up was a pain. So, but yeah,
yeah.
no, it looks lovely.
Yeah, most of the time my husband cleans the aviary out. He won't touch the rest of it, but usually Jet washes that down.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's another one of the aviary. You don't there no bother for the neighbours at all.
Only when they're out at 5 o'clock in the morning, as soon as the sun comes up. Nothing's been said directly, but I know that
Yeah,
they get annoyed by the noise, I think.
yeah,
But then it's birds, isn't it? It's the same
yeah.
as wild birds, listening to the birds.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then that's your winter coat, is it?
Yeah, yeah, we need to. The only thing which I don't like with the aviary is the corrugated roof. One, because I'm trying to keep the drafts out in the winter, um, and two, a lot of spiders get in and things.
Oh,
So
you're not keen on spiders?
no, not the
No.
ones we get. So I want to be able to flat roof it and just felt it,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
more sort of sealed and they're eating that the back of it is only single skin, and of course they're starting to eat their way through, so we've got to put another skin at the back.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've doubled it everywhere else, but I didn't realize at the time that they do go through a lot of wood. They just eat
Oh,
it
yeah,
and eat it.
yeah. Yes,
So another thing I've learned now.
yeah. Okay, so we should start to venture
Yeah.
inside now. And are they your only breeding cages at the moment, or
I've got seven, but I've lent one out at the moment because a lady who's had some of my birds has found an egg, so
ah,
I've lent a few bits down to her.
yeah, yeah.
So but I don't. I did breed six pairs at a time, but I think it was a bit much for me. It's when you've got to handle them all because I like to handle them all from birth. It's having the time to do an equal amount of time for them all. It was
Yeah, I mean,
very
I don't get too caught up in that. I mean, I handle my birds every day, but it might be just when I've got chicks in the nest, it's sort of a ring check under the beak and the bum, make sure that's all right. And I find when they go to weaning, they're settled anyway. You get the odd one that's as mad as a March
Yeah.
hare, but
See, I'm terrible because I take them all out, kiss them, smooth them, put them all back in.
yeah, I guess when I run 20 pairs, it's a bit more sort of autonomous, I suppose. And
Yeah.
how do you get on with the nest boxes? Have you ever had a disaster where things have fallen out?
Yeah, that's the only thing what I don't like with those is opening the door and all the babies are asleep behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was trying to think of a way that I could put a little sort of I don't
Yeah,
know,
like a lip
a little
or a little board.
barriers. Yeah,
Yeah, that's all. I mean, I started with this type of box, breeding box, and I learned very quickly that they are problematic if everything's up one end.
yeah,
But I did end up putting in a block of wood, just a block of wood, because I wanted to be able to take everything out to clean. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it's a shame. The shame that there's not a builder that will build a box inside a box like I
yeah,
do. Like I've got on mine, you open a door and then there's a box you slide out and everything's contained in it.
yeah,
Because it would be so much better, you know. But they're what I class them as entry level breeding cages, but I know people have used them, Doug and that and all those have got these and they've been using them for years. So I think you just got to sort of train yourself to open the box very carefully.
yeah.
Um,
And then the sawdust falls down as well. And every time you try and close it, you get that
close it.
bit of sawdust in the hinge. And
Yeah, I used to have a toothbrush, an old
yeah, well,
toothbrush.
that's a good idea.
Scrub it, just quickly run it across, and it'll come out. So,
Yeah,
but it
trying to
looks,
hold them all in.
yeah, yeah. But it certainly looks like you it's clean and tidy and well organized. So yeah, it's good.
Thank
Uh,
you.
oh, that's all. So explain where we are there then.
So this is up the window you see from the
Oh
outside, the
yes.
small window. This is up that end looking down. So that door go through to the other door to the aviary.
Ah, right. So your aviary is almost, well, virtually completely separate from your shed as such, or your breeding part.
Yeah. So just
Right.
to if you go through the door, just to the right of that is their their bedroom sort of area, and then
Ah,
the
right.
door to go through to the aviary.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because a lot of us have aviaries that are inside the shed and then just what we call outside flights so they can go in and out. But obviously, yeah, you've got yours slightly different. But that
Yeah.
makes sense. That now makes sense for some of the other photos I've got you sent me. So that makes sense now.
Yeah, I think I forgot to send you one of the bedroom bit.
Ah, that's all right. Not to worry. So, yeah, you like your cup of coffee as well, and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
in my veggie mug. I had a lot of those for Christmas.
Yeah, I bet. Is that a like a radio or is that
The
a
big white thing, that's a
yeah.
purifier.
Ah, yeah, that's what the word I was looking
Yeah,
for. Do you
the
find
radio's there somewhere.
yeah, up the top there actually. So do you find that purifier makes a difference or
I didn't until I emptied it, and it makes a huge difference. The amount of dust in there, I just
yeah.
couldn't believe. The room does still get quite dusty,
Yeah, I
but
mean
it
the only
does
thing I
take
would
out
say is
quite a
that's
bit.
for the size of your shed or your bird room, that's probably quite a small unit.
Yeah, I could
If
do with
you
another one.
Yeah, if you watch Harry Hockaday's video, he's got quite a big floor stand. Okay, it's a much bigger bird room, but you'll see how big they can be. Um,
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, worth. You know, I mean, I wear a mask when I'm cleaning out, but I don't any other
yeah,
time. So I've got extractors and things going all the time.
yeah. We've got a floor vent, like a ceiling high vent and a floor vent, but
Yeah.
I don't think it probably does very much. But
Yeah, no, I mean you'll be surprised. I used to do smoke bombs once a year, which is a parasite and whatever, cleaning out. I don't use them so much now. I just found that the bird room smelt for months on end.
Yeah.
But it was amazing because I shut all the fans off and everything, shut all the windows and just sealed it in. You always got some leakage, obviously, but then when you put the fans and everything back on, it was amazing how quickly it cleared. I was quite surprised. Some supplies.
Yeah. Few in there. The got the DE powder I use when I clean out. I always dust
Yeah,
around the trays and boxes and things with that.
yeah. Looks
The
like you got,
F10 cleaner.
yeah, ivermectin as well.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Needing some more of that by the end of the year.
yeah. It's handy to have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so do you want to talk us through a few bits that you've got there?
Yeah. So I've got, like when we had the bird flu, that V18 I got for the foot dips and things like that. I need to put my glasses on, I can't see. I've got the ivermectin in there, the other mites,
Oh yeah,
mexadoxin.
yeah. You've got some F76. Got your liquid iodine.
Yeah,
Uh,
I tend to use the other mite treatment now instead of the F76, the mexadoxin one, is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
you're not using that as well as the ivermectin, are you? Or
no, the
no?
ivermectin I've been using on mainly for all the babies.
Yeah,
And the parents have a dose before they go back to the Avery. But I
yeah,
find the S76 so time consuming because it's sort of nearly every day for a month. So you've got to put it
yeah,
in the water 5 days, then four, then three.
yeah.
And it obviously is,
I'd rather have a drop of ivermectin, even with
yeah,
100, even with 100+ birds. Every 3 months, catch them all up, dot of ivermectin, and away we go.
yeah.
But yeah, and I see you've got the AIL as well, the avian insecticide
Yes,
liquid. That,
brilliant stuff.
yeah, it's best on the market, isn't it? But my
I
God, it's
think it was
expensive.
you I got that recommended from.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've, uh, funny enough, I was in contact with Fab Finches this morning. Unfortunately, my parcel's gone awry in the post, so
oh
I've
no,
got to wait a few more weeks now. But they're going to send me a hand spray ready mixed one just to tide me over. But
yeah,
I've also got the a new hand fogger sprayer type thing
oh,
that Rob Cartridge actually recommended. So I'm going to give that a go when it all comes. But
yeah. They run out of the ready mix one when I ordered that, so I had to have the concentrate, which is not so
yeah,
great because I got to keep making it up. But
yeah, but I mean, I think it goes
brilliant
a lot
stuff.
further. Goes a
Yeah,
lot further. So yeah, and you got your little set of scales for weighing out
yeah,
as well. Avi Pro, that's a probiotic, isn't it?
yeah. I got
Yeah,
Guardian Angel at the back.
yeah,
Yeah, but I prefer the Avery Pro. I think what the
yeah.
few I've had to use it with, they seem to have been better with that.
Yeah.
That I had the Pro.
I found the Guardian Angel quite a strong smelling mix
Yeah.
when I had it. But and do you use the apple cider vinegar regularly?
No, it's
No.
I brought it. One of mine had something wrong with their stomach, or it was the crop, sour crop or
Oh,
something it
sauerkraut.
had.
Yeah,
And I was advised to try some of that, but she sadly died anyway. I think
yeah.
it was too late.
I
But
just I just found
yeah,
my experience with apple cider vinegar was my birds just didn't like it. And
yeah,
I started on a very low dose and built it up, but they ended up being dehydrated, so I knocked it on the head. Um,
yeah,
but no, it's a good selection. And the only thing I would say is, do you feed millet sprays?
yeah,
Do you give them to the babies when they're weaning?
yeah.
A good way of doing it is soaking them in V18, the vanadine. It keeps the mites and the dust off the millets as well, but it also puts a drop
Oh,
of iodine into their mix. Um, and it because they'll readily take millet. If it's wet, you have to change it every day, so nothing goes wrong. But they take in more moisture, so they don't become
oh,
dehydrated. I
that's
do.
good.
90% of my millet sprays get soaked in that stuff and just fed to babies. I very rarely feed it to the adults, to be honest.
Oh,
Um,
that's handy
but
to know.
yeah, and
Mm.
it doesn't need to be very strong either. It's just like weak tea, really. But it's more about getting that drop of iodine into the babies
Yeah.
and moisture, because if babies become dehydrated, you'll lose them so quickly, and it
Yeah.
can trigger things like French molt. So, you
Can
know,
it? Oh,
well, I think stress overall can trigger the
yeah.
French molt, and these birds that drop feathers and wing flights, I think a lot of it is dehydration and stress. So yeah, worth thinking about. Okay. Ah, you use the same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You
Good
get the
stuff.
odd you get the odd blue pallet piece of wood in there, but
Yeah.
it always comes nice and clean, and it smells lovely when I
Yeah.
so I know people say, oh, it's all pallets, but it's never done me any
No, it
problems.
works.
Yeah, I actually use that in my nest boxes. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's some more
That's
bits.
it. Bits.
Yeah. So, do you feed? I think there is possibly some other photographs, but do you feed a soft food?
They have chopped up sort of small chopped veg just on its own. I don't mix anything in with their veg. So is this the babies or
No,
just all
just
of
just
them?
generally, just generally through your birds, really.
Yeah, they have in little separate pots. They have so all the different chopped veg. Then they'll have pots of Thrive and Gloss they like. Um, their normal seed. They'll have boiled egg. But I don't mix it all in one all
Oh,
together
right. Oh, okay.
because I find
And
a lot of them don't seem to eat it, especially if they got the egg. Not many of them seem to like the egg, and it goes off
yeah,
so quick. So I
yeah.
just do it in separate little piles, and they just eat what they want
Right.
to eat.
And do you mix or sprinkle on the Avi mix and the Nutribowl onto that
Um,
veg and that?
no, I haven't put it on the Avi mix when the babies are like weaning and they're older. I sprinkle it on their seed there. The Nutribowl I've just been putting on the adult seed, the breeder seed, while they've
Yeah,
got the babies and the eggs. So they have a
yeah,
sprinkle of that in the mornings.
yeah. That's right. I mean, the hens are using a lot more calcium when they're
Yeah,
breeding. So no, that's a good idea. No,
and then
it's
they have
just in. Yeah, go on.
they have a calcivet in their water as well, 5 days a week.
Oh,
The
right. Oh, okay.
breeding ones.
Yeah. And you've never had any, or you're not knowingly had any problems with the calcivet with thick shells or anything?
No, they seem to have all done well.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. It's just, with the Avimix, Nutribowl and calcium, you've got two sources of calcium and
Yeah,
vitamin D there. So sometimes it can tip them over the edge. But again, I mean, I stopped putting stuff in the water when I realised that they weren't drinking if they didn't like it. So I just
yeah.
keep
See,
the
mine
fresh
seem to
water.
drink. A couple of the breeders, they were going through sort of 2 bottles of water a day.
Right.
Some of them drink so much, and others
Yeah.
don't touch it very much. But yeah, they've all seemed all right. The eggs have all hatched and been all right.
Good. No, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And I'm just looking at the F10CL. I've not seen that one before. Is that something I know of off F10, but I just wondered what that was.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I
Oh, it says
ordered that.
concentrate. Oh, I see.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
concentrate.
that one. Yeah,
Excellent.
another one I couldn't get ready made, so that's a
Yeah,
made up one.
yeah. I just not seen. I might have a look at that one and see if it's
I don't
anything
know whether
different.
that's probably Fab Finches as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Where I got that from.
yeah. No, I do like the F10 because I mean, when the start of the season, I will disinfect everything with that or an F10, um, and then I'll fog F10 every so often during the breeding season. So now that one, actually, my dad he races pigeons, and I had a few problems with addled eggs and things, and my dad said, "Oh, use this." But what I did was I contacted Kevin to get a budgie equivalent. I didn't actually sort of
Yeah.
use that one. Um, but so have you had to use that for anything, or
No, I
just
don't think
just
I
an
have that one.
emergency one, is it?
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it's interesting because 90% of our medicines at the moment for birds are pigeon products anyway. And thank God for Kevin and his
Yeah,
guidance on what ratio, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, when I saw that photo, I thought, oh blimey, that's what Dad had. But like I say, I went for a budgie sort of alternative
yeah.
because I believe that's got treatment in it for things that budgies don't get.
Ah,
So there are some, crossover, and that's the problem with pigeons. I used to use one called combi powder, um, and it treats hex mite. And according to Kevin, budgies don't get hex mite, so I was sort of treating for things that they didn't even get. So I soon changed. But no, oh yeah, there's the
that's
Calcivet.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, and that looks like a bird care company one, is it?
yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, so what seed and that do you use?
I used to get the Hafes Tip Top, but they've which had the tonic seed mixed in, but I never know how much is in there. So now they're on. I get the budget seed, which is pretty much the same, but without the tonic seed, and I buy separate tonic seed and mix it in.
Yeah,
So the breeding ones have got a separate pot, um, which has got that and tonic seed mixed together, and the Avery just have that plain seed, which they love. I did get the Genesis a while back, and they didn't really like it, and I found a lot of waste with that one.
yeah,
So I've put them back on this one, and they do
yeah.
seem to like that one.
I mean, my birds changed overnight when I went to feed him what's called straights. So I have in the flights, I have a bowl of millet, mixed millets, if whatever I buy at the time. I might get French white millet and then a bag of mixed millet, and put that in, and then a tray of canary, plain canary, and they can take what they like from that.
Yeah,
Um, and then I feed all what you and I probably talk about as fatty seeds, like your tonic and all of that. I keep that separate, and that's fed on different days within soft food, without soft food, and so.
yeah. So I'm
But
probably a bit naughty, and they probably have far too much tonic seed than what they're supposed to.
yeah, but what you
But
need to, look at is are you getting any that are getting overweight and fat, or possibly got early death from things like fatty liver disease? And from what you and I have spoken about over the last few years, I don't think that's the case. So
no, no,
it
not what I know of.
it's no, that's right. So and I think your birds, where you've got that lovely big Avery, and they aren't the bigger, heavier, buffier birds, they are burning the calories off constantly, which is great. Whereas my big podgy things, they tend to sit there and just talk to each other all day.
Yeah.
But I do set the Avery up so they have to work a bit, but they can become quite lazy. Oh, there's a
Oh,
tonic seed.
yeah,
So is that a Haith's tonic?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I must admit, the tonic from Haith's I've never actually seen. Has it got an aniseed smell, or
yes. It's got a
yeah?
little green flecks. Yeah, would that be it?
No,
Little green flecks.
the green flecks. I think that might be. I don't know whether that's spirea or whatever they call it. I'm not sure, but the
Oh,
aniseed is
it's
a
a very
smell.
strong smell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That it's like an oil, an aniseed oil they put on. Years ago, there was a company that did one of an orange smell, but I've not seen that for a long time. I think they must have all decided that everybody wanted aniseed.
yeah. Yeah, because I tend to stick with Hafe's tonic seed because I've seen some in the shops. It didn't look the same. So I thought I'd
Yeah,
rather stick with what I know and what they like
yeah.
and sort of
But
stick
see,
with that.
I tend to I've got a Johnson and Jeffs, which is what I use at the moment. I will change at some point. Um, but I've got their soaked seed, and then I basically go around Morrison's and Tesco's and buy all sorts of things: split peas, lentils, and it all gets soaked or fed dry, mostly soaked. Um, and my lot just, I mean, it's there for minutes, literally. you know. But I don't feed it very often. Twice a week is,
Yeah.
even to the breeding pairs, is probably all they get. Partly because it's a little bit time consuming. You have to soak it and rinse it. But yeah, and that's the EMP that's got the dried egg in it that you say they don't
They'll
like.
eat that, but they don't, not so keen on just sort of boiled eggs, just normal.
Oh, I see.
I usually put a pile down for the babies to wean on, a pile of that and their normal seed and other bits, and
Yeah.
but they seem to just eat the seed more than that. They will
Well,
go for the normal seed.
yeah, I mean, the EMP is really baker's waste, so it's bread and biscuits,
Yeah,
that sort of thing with, and then the Niger seed, um, which basically gives it its protein level, really, because Niger's quite high in protein. So yeah, I mean, I did start off many years ago using EMP, but I've switched over to the chicken feed, the Garvo, partly because
oh
it
yeah, I've
gives
heard that
it.
mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, it gives my birds all of the minerals, the calcium, the vitamin D. It's all in one scoop, and that's it. That's all I have to worry about. So I don't use any, additional calcium or anything. I'll obviously add other things to it. I add a bit of Thrive and Gloss, funny enough,
Yeah,
and cod liver oil, and that's basically my mix. I just found did I really want to feed baker's waste?
yeah,
It just seemed a bit odd, but no. But they certainly do like the Thrive and Gloss, and
yeah. They love that.
yeah, you can send them over the edge on that. So I probably waste more by mixing it into the soft food, but I'd rather do that. I just make sure it sticks to all the wet bits.
Yeah,
Um, you know, you got some room for some shelves there, look, and some cupboards.
yeah.
Yeah. And oh, you got the budgie breeding record book. Is that the one off of? Are they? You can get them on eBay, I think, can't you?
I had that for Christmas,
Ah,
year
right.
before last, I think it was. Yeah, it's been useful.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'd be lost without my app now.
Oh, I'm not technical enough for an app.
Yeah, I'd absolutely be lost without it now, honestly.
Pen and
Oh,
paper.
yeah. I don't remember ring numbers. I just, you know, I can look at a bird and go, yeah, it's from that family, but I can't always tell you which pair bred it. So without that, I'd be lost. So, and oh, I was just going to say, do you use bottled water all the time?
No, that I use tap water. That's just so I can take some out, so I don't have to keep going in and out when I do them all in the mornings.
Oh, you're gonna have to get your husband to dig a hole, across and
Yeah,
run a pipe. Come on, you need to, get him organised.
yeah. I wanted him to get someone to put some gas central heating up there.
That's taking it a bit far. Yeah. And is that where you wean your babies?
I did start putting them in there, but I found they went quite scatty in the big cages, and they all tend to stay at the back. Because the door is quite big to open, and I don't know whether it spooked them or not. So I either put them in smaller cages or I just leave them in the breeding boxes but shut off the hole so that they can't get in the nest box.
Yeah,
And they seem to be calmer, and you can sort of handle them easier and get them on your finger in there because
yeah.
they can't cling to the bars at the back.
No, no.
But yeah, I don't know whether they're sort of more settled because that's all they've known.
It could well
But
be. See, my only ever know wire cages. Until
yeah,
until I wean them, I do put them in some stock cages when they're weaning, but they're never in there very long, and then straight into a small Avery.
yeah.
I notice you've got lots of or a playground and that. So do you let the birds fly round in this part of the shed with you?
Yeah, the babies come out sort of one nest at a time, then I know where they've got to go back. So
Right.
they usually come out and have a fly round to practice flying and stuff.
Pandemonium then.
Yeah.
Now this was the bit that intrigued me, but I think now that must be the sleeping quarters.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
we extended that bit on. That was an old bird cage. We couldn't work out how to do it, and then I had an old bird cage we weren't using, so we've used that as that part. 'Cause it's still got the little doors in it,
Yeah.
and then we've also got on the actual door you open to get in the bedroom bit. That's also got two wire bits as well, because it's got the
Right.
seed holders in it as well and things. But this is the only thing we're struggling on at the moment, because it's really not big enough. Now I've got so many because I shut them in the winter. I'm thinking it's a bit. Is it going to be a bit of a squeeze in there now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
is about it's about another 2 foot wider than that photo, because you've got sort of where the door is as well, but
Yeah.
it's sort of,
And is that bit on the left hand side going out to the Avery?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you've got the door to the left, and then they've got a little hatch to the left inside of the bedroom bit. They go in and out
All right.
with a sliding door on it. So I usually shut them in the winter to
Yeah.
keep them a bit warmer.
Yeah. I used to shut mine in every night, and
Yeah,
they were quite well trained. You know, they knew if the light was low and I was coming up the path, they all started to hop along the perches and fly across to the flap, and in they went.
yeah.
So
They've got a light strip in there.
yeah.
So when that's on a timer, so when that goes in, it goes a bit earlier every time it gets a bit darker in the evenings, and then they know that's supper time, and
In
they're
they
in, and
go.
that's it for the night.
Yeah. So is that just one of your typical sort of pet cage setups?
Yeah, that was one of their weaning when I first used those for the weaning cages.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Oh,
top bit of the door for the bedroom.
oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And that's the strip light you were saying about, is it, that comes on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the bottom bit of the door.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, so you can actually walk in there then
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
cleaning and
Walk in
everything.
to clean it all out. Yeah,
Ah, right. Okay. And this is the impressive bit.
yeah. That's the view from the door as
Yeah.
you go in. It does need
It's
another paint though,
yeah, but
another coat of
it's good
paint.
that you've put everything sort of possibly up the other end. So like you say, they've got to fly to get to
Yeah,
those perches and things, which is good.
yeah. So that's really sort of the point, really, that we made it so, because we only had about 10 birds probably when we built it, so it was a bit excessive for 10 birds. But I thought, well, I want them to be able to stretch their wings and have a good
Yeah.
sort of fly round.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. How many birds you up to now?
I got about 35 keepers.
Eh, it gets worse, believe
Oh
me.
no, I got no room.
Yeah. So, um, is it just slabs down, or is there concrete under the slabs, or
No, we've got chicken wire under those, which go probably about 6 inches behind the wood, so it's
right?
there's
Yeah.
no gaps. It goes sort of across the floor and up the wall a bit, so that nothing can hopefully get in.
Yeah. A lot of mistake, or a lot of people make that mistake and just end up with mice and rats coming up through the bottom. So no, that's a good call. Good call.
We've been lucky; we've had nothing in so far.
Yeah. That was intriguing, but is that where they've chewed through?
No, this was our afterthought, because Kevin jet washes it all, and he thought, well, we round the edges, we just left some. They had wire underneath, but there's a bit of soil to sort of soak it away,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't working. They were either eating it or digging in it, or
Yeah.
so we cemented round over the mud, and then we put pipe. We dug a hole and put pipe through there under the lawn and out the other side, so you can just brush it all down there.
Yeah, like a soak
Yeah.
away.
But it does look a bit weird in that photo.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was some sort of drain, I must admit, but I thought,
Yeah.
well, or have the birds actually chewed through the concrete? I've seen it,
I
believe
wouldn't
me.
put it past them.
No, no, they can do it, believe me. Is that a bit of Java wood?
That was our bargain Java wood. We got that in painting when I come back with a bird instead of a postcard. And she it well, it should have been on a stand, and she didn't have the stand and couldn't find it, so we got it for a tenner. And we looked on
Wow.
eBay, and they're like over 100 quid.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
Yeah.
that was our bargain buy.
No, it looks lovely, doesn't it? The hamster wheel.
Yes, never would I have ever thought to get one of those if I hadn't seen someone else with one.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep umming and ahhing, but my lot would probably just look at it and go, what on earth's that?
They did for a few days, but they go in it quite a lot now. They do like
Yeah.
it, or they sleep in it, or
Yeah. The clan?
yeah, I think that's most of them just about squeezed in.
Yeah. So I think the next ones, yeah. Now I think what we're going to do is we're going to run through the birds you sent me as a block. So, talk us through um, you know,
Yeah,
no, not
so
you, dog.
don't start barking now.
No.
Yeah. So this is the famous Bubble and Squeak from Chris Cosma.
Ah,
This
right.
is the pair what laid the first ever egg and got me into trouble with all this breeding. So it was a mad phone call to Chris. Oh my God, I've got an egg. What the hell do I do with it? So that's how it all began with those two.
Yeah. And this must be the pair that have been breeding your double factor hides, is it?
Yeah,
The-
they've had the white pieds and the white and
Yeah.
blues, and yeah, I
Yeah.
was just assuming that they would all be the same color as the parents.
No, I mean, because by the looks of what you've got there, is Dad looks to me like a yellow face cobalt.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of turquoise between his
That's
legs.
right. That's right. But Mum looks to me like a golden face cobalt.
So what's the difference between yellow and a golden face?
Basically,
This,
the this the body and the yellow starts in the face and it's run all the way through the body, but it's not a true blue like sky blue or cobalt. If you look at Dad's legs,
yeah.
that if she might even be a violet. No, I think that's cobalt. So it turns this aqua green like the chest of Dad. So
Yeah.
basically, the golden face changes the whole of the bird or 90% of the bird, whereas yellow face, like Dad, only changes a certain part of the bird, if
Ah.
that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, there are two different types of yellow face. There's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 tends to be sort of stays in the face, and type 2 tends to run further through the bird. But without sort of getting hold of them and looking at them. But yeah, so that's why you've bred white double factor pieds, because they are
Oh.
blue series, and some of those babies will be yellow face. Some might even be double fact. I mean, it's difficult to tell, but is Dad a golden face? I don't know,
Yeah.
without looking at them. But yeah, so you'll have a real different combination. But when you look at those birds, neither of them are green. They're both blue.
Ah.
So that's why you've bred whites and blues, because that's what their series is. They're blue series birds. So yeah.
Oh, that was their first baby they had on their first clutch they ever had. That one,
So
that was
she's actually a single factor pied. So there are a percentage, obviously, that they throw that aren't double factors. So
yeah,
they're
that's little no tell. She had her first molt, their like 16-week molt, and she lost her tail and half her wings, and it took about 8 months for them to grow back. I never thought they ever would. So
all
I
right.
kept her, and she was always called no tell, and they've just all grown out lovely now.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
were you aware of any? Did she go through any stressful times? Was she a little bit underweight when she molted or anything?
Um, Looking back, she was probably a bit smaller than the rest of the
A little
clutch
bit
was, but
weaker.
not. not sort of really
Not,
bad. But
no. It just
mm,
sometimes, the stress and things of weaning, and
yeah,
that does trigger. That's why I go back to the millet, the soak millet. Just keep that
yeah.
moisture going through them.
Oh, some of the babies.
Yeah,
That's
tiny,
the
aren't they?
first babies.
Look well fed.
Yeah, they done really well. So that one was Wilbur. That was the two greens first clutch. That's the first baby born from them. So that's that green one's sister.
Ah, right. And funny enough, I'm just going to go back actually.
Yeah, so they're sisters.
But so that if that's a true green and not a golden face blue, then I've been talking rubbish about them too. But I don't think I am. So I think that one, but it doesn't. Yeah. Have you still got her?
Yeah, I kept her.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an
So she
interesting one.
was, yeah, she was one I'm thinking of breeding the end of the year, but I just can't decide who with at the moment.
Yeah.
She likes crop baby at the moment, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
Because it depends. If she's blue, if you lifted the wings and she's blue underneath, then she's a golden face. But I don't know. Something looks slightly different there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would expect from those two is blue, um, blue double factor pieds.
Hmm. Oh, that's Wilf. Wilf and Pearl. Everybody wanted Wilf. Yeah.
Again,
I'll
another
never have another Wilf.
another pied though. So you've obviously got quite a lot of pieds.
Well, when I brought him, he was completely cream with blue around his neck. That's why I brought him because of his colour.
And
And
he
then he had his
changed
16, 20 week molt. Yeah, and he turned out like that.
again, golden face. You see, so he's golden face. So the all the blue turns to that turquoise green. So
Oh.
when if they ever go that, then pretty much chance they are as a golden face.
So this is Willow. This is the sister of the white one and that previous green one a minute ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So that was they're all the first clutch, the same clutch. I kept quite a lot of those.
yeah. See the root of the tail there underneath looks very blue,
Yeah,
or a
she's
blue
more like
hue. So
mum.
yeah, so I still think they're golden faces, um, but maybe with mixed in. Yeah, no, they must be golden faces. Or a spangle, so it's not a pied.
This was my last baby, what just went tonight. All
Oh
my
right.
babies are gone now.
Oh, you just have to breed some more.
I know. Oh, that was Luna. That was mum died from her, not when she had the babies. I don't she died while we were on holiday. I'm not quite sure what happened with her.
No,
But
I mean it. I'm always a little bit skeptical, but even in that picture there, and it could be just the moment you've taken it, but
yeah.
to me, she just looks a little bit off, a little bit
Yeah, that's what
fluffy.
I thought after I kept
Yeah,
an eye on her. She looked a bit fluffy, and she
yeah,
seems normal again now. But it's always like, oh no, is there something wrong with her?
yeah, and
Hopefully, just an off day.
yeah. Do you have you lost her since though?
No, I still got her. She's back to normal now. It's the mum we lost.
Oh, right, okay,
We
yeah,
lost her back in April, the mum.
yeah.
So
But I
not
mean,
sure what happened.
I have one or two, especially when the babies are weaning that I get. But I've found the a little reptile 5 watt heat mat
Yeah,
in the bottom of a cage is absolute lifesaver. I've used it a couple of times this year and saved one or two nice babies. So I'm glad I got hold of that. Well worth having in your armory.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
oh.
a mountain
Bear
climber.
Grylls. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the babies what went a month or
And
so ago.
was that one from the double fact? Was that from the pair we were talking about at the start?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
which is strange because clutch one and clutch two were exactly the same babies, exactly the same color and same sexes. It was just really bizarre.
yeah. See now that if you look underneath the wings, it's blue. So it shouldn't have a yellow body. So that is definitely a double factor golden face. And it's a violet as well.
Yeah.
So that's a really good picture to indicate. If you're not sure, lift the wings up. Because a blue budgie will never have a yellow body. It'll always have white. So the golden faces run all the way through that bird. And it probably looked quite yellow when it came out of the nest box as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it when we get to all these different mutations and colours, and I'm not always right. I usually get some wrong, but it certainly threw me when the other ones came out, but that's definitely golden face. Oh, the row of pieds.
Yeah, they were lovely, those babies.
Yeah. And was the white one, did that have red eyes or black eyes?
I think that had black eyes, that one.
Oh, right. And they all brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's...
Yeah.
Mm.
Thrown you again.
Well, is Dad behind? Is that Dad
Yeah, that's
behind?
the grey. Yeah, and Mum is Wilbur, the white and the blue. What is the daughter of the green ones? That makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's got black eyes and it's all white, was it all white or did it have any pied markings?
No, that one's completely white, that one.
Oh, I wonder if that was a dark-eyed clear. Might have been, but you
Something I've
can,
never heard of.
yeah, they're linked to recessive pieds, which is the opposite to these, which are dominant pieds. Kevin will tell you more about them because I've never bred them, but I'm just looking at Dad behind, and I wonder if that was a grey wing.
He's got dark wings, that one.
Yeah, I'd need to see his wings again,
Yeah.
but so yeah, you really mixed up the mutations, but that one's quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the time they've picked their own partners.
Yeah, yeah, which
Just
is
sort of
half
letting
the
them
fun,
be,
isn't
which
it?
is annoying.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there's nothing to stop you picking partners if you wanted to
Yeah,
maybe improve a particular variety or breed a particular variety. The big thing at the moment is the black face and the black wings, you know.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's a little opaline spangle sky blue.
yeah. This was one I kept of the clutch. What the mum attacked them, all
Oh
the
yeah,
first time I've ever had that. So I kept
yeah,
about two of those, I think.
yeah. It's horrible when that happens for the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I had my first one this year for a couple of years. Bit of a blurry lace wing.
Yeah, that was one of mine from December, January time.
All right, completely different. Did Mum and Dad not look like that at all?
No, Mum was blue and Dad was green spangle,
All right.
green with
So
yellow wings. Yeah.
and that was a hen.
Yeah, I had three. I had two plain Lutinos, and that was the only one with the markings.
Were they
So I
all
kept that one.
hens? Were they
Yeah,
all hens? Yeah. So
yeah.
Dad split lacewing and Lutino. That's the best way to remember that. And he can only breed hens to a non-Eno partner. So yeah. Oh,
Oh, little bean.
was that one you were feeding? Did you?
Yes, yeah. I had to feed that one a little bit. No, no, that one when I. Is that the one I
Yeah, because I
fed?
think you sent me some photographs for one, didn't you? I thought it was that one, but
Oh no, that was the crop baby. The other
yeah.
one. This one, the wings where I don't know whether mum snapped it or the baby snapped it, but a few of their wings had got snapped
Oh
when it was
right.
just a little bit younger than that. I had dried blood on it. I'm not sure what happened with that one. So
Mm,
it was about probably a week and a half behind what it should have been compared to the rest.
yeah,
But she's brought up lovely now.
yeah. Another pied?
Yeah, it's one I kept like the greys.
Yeah,
So looking forward to that one for next year.
yeah. That's a lovely picture. Did we have that one as our pop-up picture a while
Yeah,
ago?
I think you did that one.
Yeah, I thought I recognised it. Yeah,
I
that's a
like it
proper
when they do that.
sleepy bunch.
Yeah. Oh, that's a recent one I kept. I had two exactly the same.
God,
That's why.
I'm going to confuse you the devil out of you now, because that you're thinking Lutino, perhaps.
No, I
Good.
was thinking a Cremio or something.
It's a
It
gold.
was a
It's a
lot
gold.
creamier.
Yeah, it's a golden face albino.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. You can tell because the back of the head and the between the feet is white.
Yeah, because she's gone
Very.
darker than she was.
That's right. And then
Yeah.
very, very bright face in the yellow. But the yellow again, like I said earlier, it's run through the whole body. So in
Oh,
theory, it's an albino, but you've stuck the
oh.
golden face on and changed it to
Because she
yeah,
had a brother exactly the same. So he's gone to a new home now, but I kept the
mm,
girl.
yeah. So was mum? Mum must have been an Eno.
Mum is violet with white wings.
Oh, okay. And what was dad?
Dad was, God, I don't know what we call it. He's like a lemony cream with a couple of turquoise spots on him and a little bit of black round sort of on his neck.
Oh, right. Okay. Because to get an albino cockbird, mum must be a visual Eno, and dad can be either visual or split. So
Ah,
yeah. Did mum get naughty with another bird? Oh no, it can't because she wasn't. If she's not in Eno, oh, how bizarre. Oh, you've definitely like your pieds.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I must be. That's one variety I haven't had in my shed for a very long time. Very long time.
Yeah. So that the one a minute ago, that yellow albino one,
Yeah.
that is a sis. Well, that's a sister, but from a different clutch. So that's the same parents as what she had.
Because to me, that looks like I'm going to stick my neck out a recessive pied. But or is it a dominant? No, it might be a dominant pied. So one of the parents must have been a pied of some sort anyway.
Must be dad then, I suppose. With
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's more. I don't know. It's a hen anyway.
there's Charlie boy.
Yeah.
That was the one I kept of the. That's the ones what Mum died. He is an
Ah,
absolute dog,
right.
so I'm glad I kept him now.
Yeah, he's lovely.
Oh, that was Crop Baby.
Oh, is that one we'll see a little bit later on?
Yeah,
You sent me the photos. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Certainly came through okay in the end, didn't he?
yeah. He's a big bird. He is now. He's
Yeah,
quite chunky. Oh, little babies.
yeah.
So that is another one from the Creamio, but that no, that's Mum. No, that's not Mum. That's sister, but from a
Mm.
different clutch. If that makes
Ah,
sense.
right.
Same
Yeah,
parents, but from a different. That
yeah.
looks like Mum's bum above her. That's the sort of colour. The one sitting above her is the colour of her tummy, and then she's got
Right.
white spangle wings.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I'd need to see more of the bird, but because that it's got I don't know. Oh, you like to mix them up, don't you? I think it's. I mean,
I
it's
just
how I
ain't got a clue
started.
when it comes to colours.
No, that's stuff that. I mean, to be honest, that's how a lot of these new mutations pop up. People, sort of breeders find these new mutations sometimes in collections of birds that you wouldn't expect. I'm not saying pet shops necessarily, but
Yeah,
somebody who didn't realize they'd bred something new.
uh, she was the best girl ever. So tame. I've had a lot of really tame girls this time. A lot of them better than the boys, I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, is that all of the photographs? Oh, we might have to just have a look and see. But now that one, have you bred with that one?
No, that's a baby what's recently gone. That
Right.
one.
Did it have dark eyes?
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
dark eyes.
See,
But the
with
sister had red eyes, so they
yeah,
weren't all the same.
because it's got a very orange beak. There's possibility that might have been a dark-eyed clear because it's got very orange beak. If it's got black eyes and definitely not red, possibility that was a dark-eyed clear. So at some point you may breed recessive pieds at some point. So if babies sort of get closer together in relation, when you start breeding them together.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's happened to those photographs. I shall have a look. Let's just stop sharing for a moment. Bear with me. Oh, how bizarre. No, I'm going to say the last two you sent me was the crop baby when it was almost virtually dead in your hand, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you'd revived him, hadn't you? So
Yeah.
no. Well, it's been brilliant. Have you got any questions you want to ask me while you've got me here as a captive
Yeah.
audience?
Just that I've got to learn all these colours.
Yeah,
Mutation.
I think the mutations just comes with constantly asking questions, constantly thinking, what do the wing markings look like in relation to the base, like the pied, because once you start putting spangles into pieds, it does alter the markings. But what I find is the wing markings still sit in a similar position, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just changes them slightly, and that's how I've sort of remembered some of them. Some you have to learn the cheek patch colours and tail colours, but yeah. But you're predominantly pieds through yours,
Yeah, I think so.
so pied is good. Pieds are quite easy to spot sometimes, but no. Well, brilliant. Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Been good.
Thank
Time's
you.
flown by.
It has.
Yeah. So yeah, well, thank you very much, and we'll get this out as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.